I mean, that's how it is everywhere
Yeah.
else, right? It, I could imagine if there was a Mexican one here, it would be like little like sarapes and
Yeah.
maybe like Mexican food.
Yeah.
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 Ugh. Anyway,
But it's a very nice display.
and
Yeah.
sure, we are back with our last recording of the day.
I just want to say
See,
what we're about to do is a milestone
milestone?
because I believe our first episode of this show was Moonfall, which
Moonfall,
was a February episode.
February.
So we're not at the 1 year mark,
Not yet.
but we have carried on a podcast long enough
Hmm.
for us to have a best of episode.
Best stuff and worst stuff.
That
Oh,
is a feat.
that is a feat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what the nice thing is?
Hmm.
I know we're not like gangbusters, right?
Right.
But we do have people who are like consistently listening.
We got a few million.
We got a few. So today we are. Oh, what the hell did I do here? Uh,
Do I need to have a document pulled out other than my list or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. All right.
What the fuck did I do to my list?
What you do to list?
I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something is missing on my list. I don't know what the fuck I did.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are here to talk about our top five. Technically, so here's how it's gonna work.
Mhm.
Or here's how I'm envisioning it. It'll be a top 10
Right.
because it'll be five from you, five from me. The way I'm thinking is that we might have some overlaps.
Yeah, we will.
Might.
We will.
I kind of came up with mine knowing that you might put some of them on there, so I kind of was like, oh, maybe I won't put it on mine,
Hmm.
but it'll be in our overall top 10.
Yes.
Um,
Once again, Javier doing the bulk of this lifting on this podcast. Whenever people ask me, I'll mention like, "Oh, my podcast." And they'll be like, "You have a podcast?" I'm like, "Let me preface. I assist in a podcast. I do not do nearly 80% of the work. I do not do 90% of the work.
you are here
Yeah,
talking with me about
exactly.
something that I'm passionate about, and that's good enough for me.
Yes, this is Javier's podcast.
Nah, this is our podcast.
Okay, thank you,
Yes, 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 yes.
Communism.
our podcast is that Soviet Mickey not Mickey Mouse, the Bugs Bunny meme.
Exactly.
Exactly. So the way that I want to start is let's
Yeah.
go ahead and I think I'm not even gonna have us do disclaimers at the beginning. Let's just do disclaimers now. At least for me,
Mhm.
my list is not in any particular order.
Oh, I have a loose. Mine are loosely ranked.
Yours are loosely ranked.
Loosely ranked. But
Okay,
I'm not like married to I'm not married to the ranking.
okay,
Yes.
sounds good. So that's fine.
Yeah.
We can adjust later, and if you want, we can kind of move things up and down.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to go into much detail about any of these because if it's in our top 10 list, we've probably already done an episode on it.
We have.
So anybody who's interested can always hop in.
I mean, pretty
for
much
more in depth.
everything I've seen in a theater, which is all I'm counting. Yeah, is stuff we've done an episode on, with the exception of one of these.
Okay,
Um, I will say that I think this was a very, very good year for movies.
it's a great year.
There was not one movie that for me was like a game changer movie for me.
Okay,
Though there were many movies I loved. And I will say of what I saw in theaters, there was not a lot that I hated. There was only one movie that I hated.
that's 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 what I will
Yeah,
say.
there was one movie that I hated. Um, but I was surprised that I was able to find five that I was like, these were bad.
So for my like top five, I did kind of struggle a little bit with coming up with five that I would say are my top five.
Mhm.
I went through my AMC A list like
I went through my letterbox.
thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even go to my letterboxes. I know there's some movies on there that are not from this year that came out,
Mhm.
and I don't always put every movie on there. But as far as like theatrical movies, I saw 57 movies in theater this year.
Impressive.
And granted, some of them are like repeats. Like
Yeah,
Doctor Strange, I think I saw 2 or 3 times. Top Gun Maverick, I saw like 5 or 6 times.
yeah,
But it's still a lot of like separate movies.
yeah.
So for me, I was like, holy shit! Like
I think what this just goes to show is once again,
cinema's
and
back, baby doll.
well, financially it's not, sadly,
Sadly,
but like I have no respect for bored people.
yeah. Go see a movie.
There is enough content. Nothing on my list is obscure. Nothing is obscure. Of all the
Have to.
of all the main critics that I follow, like who are not obscure critics, none of them reviewed Babylon. I didn't see Babylon.
That's
I'm
true.
not telling people to see Babylon. But like for how marketed that movie was,
Heavily.
yeah. And like the heavy hitters aren't reviewing it. There is enough for you to see a movie. That is an evening of entertainment.
Yeah.
There's enough to have at least one day a week, one night a week. A movie, you're probably gonna go to dinner, right?
Hmm.
As well. Doesn't have to be a fancy dinner.
Yeah.
Could be the Panera next to the theater, right? Like there is enough to do in this world where
Yeah.
you should not be bored.
Yeah. 100%.
And I don't respect you if you're. And with that,
With that wonderful list, let's go ahead
yeah.
and start with your top five.
So we're starting off on the positive note.
Let's start on the positive.
Yeah.
It's more fun to talk about
Yeah.
the shit.
Yeah. Do you want me to go from 5 to 1? Do you want me just to list the five, or do you want me to go one at a time?
Let's go ahead one at a time. And then, like I said, I'll.
So we'll alternate, or I'll just go like
Yeah, let's alternate.
okay.
Let's alternate.
So my number 5,
Hmm.
even though I gave it a higher star rating than other films on this list, is Prey.
Pray. I figured it would be.
Yep.
Hmm.
Um, Great action.
Great act. It's a fantastic movie.
Yes. Beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm extremely excited for what could potentially come next if they decide to continue.
Yeah.
Um, I do agree. The action on it, it's a fantastic action movie.
Yeah.
Um, I lump it together with like the umbrella of like the horror genre. So I think as far as like those movies goes, it just one more to add to that list. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's not in my top five because I figured it would be on yours,
Hmm.
but it is in my honorable mentions for sure.
Good spot for it to be in.
Good spot.
Should I do number 4?
Sure. Do you want me to do mine?
Oh yeah, duh. Go.
Sure. So again, mine are not in any particular order. So I'm gonna start with a light one that is not on Thanos' list.
A light.
The quintessential quintuplets.
Oh yeah, did not see it.
No, God, no, you would not have seen that movie.
Will not see it.
No. So I am famously not a like romance
Fan.
media fan.
Right.
Uh,
But you famously are
I am famously
an anime fan.
an anime fan.
Yeah.
And listen, this is one of the few series that I watched the show
Hmm.
and I was like, I'm so invested that I need to know how this ends.
Right.
So I went ahead, I read about 100 chapters in the span of like 2 days,
Jesus
which is a
Christ.
lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Uh,
chapters.
so when this movie was coming out, I was like, well, it's got a big thing to live up to.
A big lunch.
Uh, and I was very pleased with it.
Hmm.
So that is why that is on my list. And this is specifically the movie that is essentially season 3 of the show. So that is on my list. Like I said, if I get a chance to put in an anime movie on this, I will 100% put it in.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's go to your next one.
My next one. Oh, now I feel okay. I'll see if I can work it in.
Sure.
Because there was one that I was debating, but if you're gonna put in an anime, I might put this
Put
one.
in whatever you want. This is your personal type. And
It
I
is.
think it goes. It's fair to say these movies may not be the best movies of the year.
Correct.
I can tell you right now,
Yeah.
I probably would not put a movie like The Whale in my top 5.
Yeah.
It might be one of the best movies of the year.
Have you seen it yet?
Not yet,
Okay.
but when I think of like my favorite movies, I think of movies that I would want to rewatch that made me feel something.
I need to see the wheel because that actually could go. That could go in my top five.
Sure,
The
but
movie that
anyway,
I'm thinking of, and I'm looking at everything else. I don't know what it would replace. So I'll maybe list an honorable mention later.
sure.
Um, Number four for me is The Hill I Will Die On, Doctor Strange, and The Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. Yeah, it's so good, dude.
Yeah.
I think I told you I rewatched it recently, and I had such a good fucking time.
Stylistically great, makes you think. Good and evil commentary. Great performance by Fred and Bubblegum.
Like
By
everybody,
Bubblegum, great performance by the third Olsen twin.
the third Olsen twins, the
The
superior
superior
Olsen
Olsen
twin.
twin, right? We have an episode on this already. One of our first episodes, right? Overall, one of our first.
One of ours, yeah.
Yeah. Not getting a lot of like love from the general community. I think. I mean, we did our Marvel tiers. I think it's head and shoulders above a lot of Phase Four. And that's all I'll
Oh,
say.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. It was on my top five, and I was like, Thanos gonna put it on his.
for sure.
There's no way Thanos gonna put it
We're
on
gonna
his.
have a lot of overlap.
We are, and that's
Yeah,
why I kind of strategically picked mine.
yeah,
So yeah, if you're interested in hearing more detail on these, you can watch, you can listen to the
right.
episode. But yes, I do agree. I think it's strange enough
Hmm.
and different enough than a lot of the other MCU movies, while still feeling connected. Um,
Well, having some depth. Like,
yeah.
there's an MCU movie on my bottom five list.
Oh, I know it's
Which
on both.
one? Yeah, yeah.
I know it's on both.
And that movie and this movie to me are like night and day.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Um, so my next movie in my top five is Top Gun Maverick.
of course.
Of course,
Surprised it's not high. But then again, yours aren't necessarily a rank.
like I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
they're not in any particular order. If I wanted to, I could probably pick an order.
yeah.
But I mean, it's just
You saw it 5 times?
I saw it at least five
Yeah,
times, and I think that's just on NAMC.
right.
I know I saw it in 4DX twice.
Yeah,
My mom fucking loved this movie.
yeah.
It's we just had this conversation with Avatar,
Hmm.
where it's a movie that came way past the original, and it's just significantly head and shoulders above the original.
Stuck the landing.
Uh, I know there's some dips in the middle that
Right.
it's still a bit of like a, but that whole third act, that whole last final mission
Is dope.
is so good.
But I think that's where this movie excels by the fact that it's not like it's not trying to be smart, right? Like it's
God no,
jets are cool.
jets are fucking cool.
That's all you need.
That became, I want to say, one of our first like
Catchphrases. Jets
catchphrases,
are
right?
cool. Yeah.
Jets are cool, and we are too smart to be this
Yeah,
poor,
and dinosaurs are cool.
and dinosaurs are cool.
Yeah.
So I think this movie, for me at least personally, it ticked every box that it needed to,
Right.
and even some that I didn't know that I
Right.
wanted ticked.
Yeah.
So that's all I'll say on that.
Tick them boxes.
Tick them boxes.
Yeah.
What is Thanos' next movie?
My next movie is The Menu.
The Menu.
Yeah.
Yep, that one is also on my list.
Recent episode.
Very recent episode.
Aged well over time for me. And I walked out of it loving it. So like,
It's coming out next week.
holy shit.
Yeah,
This market.
it's coming to a streaming service. I want to say maybe Hulu,
It's still in like
HBO Max.
but what I'm saying is it's Dan Merrill was doing his like list thing and it's still like making money in theaters.
Yeah,
Bananas.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's also it's so good in the sense that like it's not an extreme movie in any sense.
Hmm.
Like it's not a super like it's not a violent movie.
Hmm.
It's not a very action heavy movie, but it's so good at like the commentary that it's making,
Mhm.
that is enough to carry
To carry its
carry it
carry it.
throughout. So like it comes out next Tuesday, the 3rd.
Holy shit.
So I'm gonna be watching it. I'm gonna be making Katie watch it because she hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But it's so good. There's some jokes in that movie that just hit so good.
Mhm.
Tyler's bullshit will never not be funny to me. Uh, my favorite movie podcast recently covered it, and one of their best friends is like a huge foodie,
Yeah.
and he was like, "This movie, it like
Eviscerated
knows
me.
where to hit me,
Yeah.
but it's so true."
It's impressive.
And and I'm like, it's just it it does a good job at doing what it needs to, and it's a perfect one-off movie.
Correct.
There's no way they're making a sequel to this, and that's perfectly fine.
Correct. And nor should they.
Very good.
Yeah.
Um, my next movie that is on my personal list is Terrifier 2.
Ooh.
A movie that is nowhere near Thanos' list.
Nope.
Uh, it's a movie that I actually did not think I would like.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
I didn't know that.
yeah, so I've seen the first Terrifier movie,
Hmm. And you
and
didn't like it?
it wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
The main draw for that movie is the fact that it's extremely violent.
Right.
And there is one particular like set piece where he saws a woman in half
Yeah.
down the middle, naked, coochie first.
Jesus Christ.
That's it.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, that's kind of you know cool and funny, and as far as like a practical effect goes, that's it.
Hmm.
But there was like no semblance of story. There were no characters that were interesting.
It was just like gore.
It was just gore for the sake of gore.
Right.
This second movie, like, actually did a really good job at giving you a character you are interested in,
Yeah.
a new final girl that comes in. There's some weird like supernatural mythology that's introduced
Oh,
that
interesting.
weirdly makes sense.
Yeah.
So as far as like taking this one thing that just makes no sense and like actually branching it out and making it something interesting,
Yeah.
it did a really good job. So that's why it's on my list.
Doesn't Halloween feel like yesterday?
Dude, yeah.
To fucking
Fuck.
time.
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 All
Yeah.
right, on the fourth movie.
All right. Not a surprise. Guess in your head what you think it's going to be?
I got two options.
Okay. You're both.
Glass Onion or Black Phone.
All right. Okay.
Black Phone.
Yes.
The Black Phone.
Which I didn't think the other option would beat out. The other option just aged so well with me over time and thinking about it. We'll get there when we get there.
Sure.
But boy, oh boy, how satisfying Black Phone was. And
Yeah,
all
it's
I'll
so
just say, when you get to that scene where he just like beats the shit out of him with the phone at the end,
it's so
you're
good.
like, oh, this little boy earned it.
And the whole like everybody in this movie came to play,
Yeah,
which I think is the best thing about it.
yeah.
Like the directing of like the cast members, like the kid actors
Hmm.
do a fantastic job. The sibling relationship between Finney and I'm blinking on the name. I want to say like Gracie,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Like it's so good in like you feel for this girl whose brother has been like kidnapped
And so much better than the source material,
significantly,
as we discovered.
as we discovered.
Yeah.
So it's on my list. I was like, it's on Donald's list, but it's
Yeah.
got to stay on mine too.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want more details on that, we have a whole podcast on
A
it.
whole
A
podcast.
whole
Right.
podcast. Um,
Episode.
a whole episode.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. Fine, fair. My other movie on my list is Glass Onion.
Aha.
Is that also on your top five?
It is.
Ah, aha. So good.
So good.
Somebody just posted a picture earlier today where it's just a still of him and it just says "so dumb" at the bottom,
And
and it's so good.
and the fact that it was able to not just time itself with like
The Elon
critique,
Twitter thing.
the fact that it was criticizing Elon, but the fact that it was making that specific criticism of Elon
Yeah,
before
You could not time it better.
you could not have timed it better.
No.
Yeah.
This is like some Hideo Kojima level of like coincidence shit.
Yeah.
Which I have no idea if you have any idea what the fuck I'm talking about with
No,
Hideo Kojima.
but I'll just believe you.
But it's just so spot on. If somebody told me
Mhm.
like, yeah, this movie was written in a week and shot in a week,
Yeah.
and they came out because it's so spot on, I'd be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I fucking
It
believe it.
must have been.
I must have been.
Right. Or if
Uh,
someone told you that the Illuminati is just writing the script for the news. And this is the proof.
yeah,
Then I guess I guess that's true.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
It does not miss.
Great. The as we said in the episode, Benoit Blanc is just like the character, right? Um, so yeah, great sequel.
Great sequel.
I don't know if Knives Out would have, maybe it would have made my top five of that year. I don't remember. I don't remember.
2019
Yeah, it
was
was a
a
while ago.
hard year.
It was a while ago as well.
2019 had a lot of good movies too.
And I don't know that I like this one better than Knives Out, but I think it came to play as a sequel, and I am eagerly waiting more Benoit Blanc.
So I know it came out on Friday. I haven't had a chance to rewatch it, but I am excited to rewatch it.
Same.
I just feel like even though you know the beats, it's still very good. Like even the other day we
Yeah.
hung out and we had Knives Out on the TV screen.
Yeah,
And even though I wasn't paying full attention to it, I was like, this movie is just so fucking fun.
it is so fun. I was starting to watch it. I got interrupted, but it was cool to be able to catch things
It's the
that, yeah,
jokes.
not not just the jokes, but like, oh,
Oh, the hints?
this is why he's making that face. Right. Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to rewatch it.
That's
Um,
my number one.
that is your number
That's my number
one?
one.
Very good.
Yeah.
So we have quite a bit of overlap. Um, so this is what we have as far as like separate movies. We have Prey,
Hmm.
Doctor Strange, The Menu, The Black Phone, Glass Onion, The Quints, Top Gun, Terrifier. As far as like a movie that I don't have on my list, but
But you're gonna round out
but I'm gonna
list
round
of
off.
five. Yeah.
I know you didn't like it,
Mm.
but I really like Scream 5.
Okay. That's on my other list.
Yeah.
Yes.
But here's
Yes.
the thing.
Yeah.
I I like the Scream movies.
You do.
So that I feel like is a big like a big differential, right?
Right. This is Javier's list. This is not the.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
again, these are not movies that are without their flaws, right? I think as far as like if I were to put a movie, interesting. Oh, Isabel apparently saw Tar.
Yeah. I want to see Tar.
Um, as far as like, is there a movie that I feel like encapsulates like is that even a word?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Like not just the horror genre, but like the horror genre through the eyes of like the Scream franchise.
Yeah.
I think it like hit the mark.
In this
So
way.
that's why I personally am very positive on this movie.
Right.
But I know you were not a fan.
Right.
So that puts us at nine movies. One, two, three, four, five,
Hmm.
six, seven, eight, nine. Is there another movie that you would like to make a perfect time?
There is. It's a movie we saw together.
Is it the
It
the the religious Jesus movie?
it's the religious Jesus movie. It's the movie that got my house infested with COVID.
What was that one?
Man of God.
Man,
Yes.
oh God, interesting.
Yeah. It from so it's a movie about us. We didn't do an episode. We didn't do
We
an
did
episode.
not.
It's a
We
movie.
did not.
It's a movie about the Orthodox Saint Nectarios. Um, it's actually no. I guess I am curious as to like walking away, not being in this circle at all. Like what your impressions of this religious Jesus movie were. But so for the fans at home, it accurately like tells the story. I think it does it with like pathos. I think it's got a little bit of religious cheese, maybe a
For
more
sure.
than a little bit, but not. It's like not God's not dead, right? So that's like
Yeah,
the
that's what I'll say. As
yeah,
someone who is not a religious person,
right.
nor someone who, or and as someone who does not enjoy religious movies,
Hmm.
I didn't come out from this being like this movie is trying to trick you into
Yeah,
becoming a religious
you
person.
just came out of the sexually assaulted, but that
I
was
did. I did. Oh
yeah,
man.
but that wasn't by the film.
That wasn't by the film. That was by some random old guy
Yeah,
from Conlo's church
yeah,
who was okay. Story time. I walk into this theater and
yeah,
I'm wearing a cinch belt.
yes.
The belt is
Which is funny because
tan.
one of the last times I've worn a singe belt, I've also had somebody not born in this country
Think it was
comment,
your penis.
no, but just comment on my singe belt. They were like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's my belt."
Cinch belt.
Yeah,
So I walk into this theater
yeah,
and I see Thano. I walk up and I say hi.
yeah,
He is talking to some old man and a younger-ish middle-aged
yeah.
man.
His son, yeah,
His son, sure. And the old man like sticks his hand out. I think he wants to shake my hand
yeah,
because we're
right,
making introductions here.
yeah,
The man goes for my crotch and grabs my belt, and I'm like, "What the fuck
yeah,
is happening
yeah,
right
yeah.
now?" The guy thought it was my penis.
Because he said
What did he say? Because I did not hear. Because
he
he's
was laughing, and in a thick Greek accent, he says, "I thought it was your dick." By the way, this man has a street named after him in Aurora, Illinois.
oh,
Yeah.
ooh, you'll have to tell me later.
Hashtag cancel.
Hashtag cancel. You know, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
The cinch belt was sticking out this much under, and
That
I'm
was
putting in a solid like 8 inches.
that was yes, this much for the people at home.
This much for the people at home.
Yeah.
You know, thank you, sir, for thinking that my flaccid penis is 8 inches and just dangling in the
Get
middle of an
your hands off!
AMC in
Get your
Naperville.
hands off my penis! I see you know your judo well, son. Um,
All right.
but yes, technically done well. I think the acting was done well. But yes, I'm
So
curious.
I didn't I didn't dislike it.
Yeah,
I just remember thinking, dude, this poor guy's being suckered.
that's his story.
And I'm like
That is his story.
and it is. I'm
Yeah,
not saying it's bad. I'm just like this poor dude. Like he gets like the short end of every
yeah,
stick.
yeah,
Everybody's just shitting on this dude.
yeah.
So as far as like those type of movies goes, like I said, it's not egregiously in your face like the God's Not Dead movies.
Right.
Like holy shit! Like even just watching clips of those movies,
Yeah,
like
those are made by Republicans
yes,
for Republicans.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
feel like this movie it's made by people who truly just respect this guy and
Hmm.
his story and just want to tell the story
Correct.
without like look at him feel bad
Yeah,
like
yeah,
be like yeah no
yeah,
so I can see that being in your top five.
yeah, yeah.
Good.
And just like you with anime, like you were a lover of anime.
It's a very
Yes,
niche movie for you and a very
exactly.
niche movie for me.
Right.
Very good. Now let's get to the fun ones.
Yeah.
This is where I
I'm gonna
think.
scandalize you twice.
Oh,
One with Scream. Right.
so okay. So just get it out of the way. Thanos.
Number five worst? No, Scream is not my number five worst.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, but I'm gonna
sure.
scandalize you there, and then I'm gonna scandalize you another time.
All right. What's your fifth worst?
Thor.
Thor.
Yeah,
So that one is also on my list.
yeah,
I'm just gonna go ahead and put mine on there right now too. Again, mine are not in any particular order.
yeah.
Uh,
This one is looser than my top five, I think.
so when I say worst of the year, I also include like disappointing. I
Yeah,
don't think Thor: Love and Thunder is like irredeemably
no,
awful.
but it is very
It
disappointing.
is the most disappointed I've been in the movie in a very long time.
Yes,
Like I will go out and say right now, Morbius is not on my list.
it is on my list, but because I just haven't seen that much bad this year.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But for me, it's because I walked into Morbius expecting
bad.
bad.
Same.
So I was like, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's why Thor is on my list. Um, so, okay, so you have Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
I also have Thor: Love and Thunder, so I'll just
Right.
go ahead and say that now. What is your next?
My next is Morbius.
More
Once again, not as bad as people made it out to be.
for sure.
Not a good movie.
No,
Yeah.
I still love. Again, every once in a while, I just wake up and I think of that last end credit scene with Vulture. And he's like, something to do with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We should get together. We could do some good. And the guy goes, intriguing. It's so just he
I haven't,
Sony bullshit.
I haven't said anything bad about Jared Leto in a while, so I'll just take this opportunity to say that
He's the
he's part of
Antichrist.
the unholy trinity. That's it. That's it. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Okay. The next movie that I have on my worst of the year is Crimes of the Future.
Ooh, also on my list.
It's probably, if I had to put a movie as my worst of the year, it's Crimes of the Future. It's just so boring
Yes.
for a movie that's supposed to be scandalous
Yeah.
and like thought provoking. It's so
So should I talk about it now then?
sure.
So remember how I said there wasn't any movie I hated this year but one?
Is this a movie you
I
hated?
hated this movie.
I fucking hated this movie.
And here's the thing. We saw this movie on a whim after being disappointed by waiting a long time in line for some like food truck food at First Friday.
Ah, I remember that.
But the fact of the matter is that I didn't have plans that night. I mean, I'm always down for a movie,
Mhm.
but like the fact that we didn't talk about this in the episode. If you want to hear the episode, see, this is a vapid, pretentious, ugly movie.
Oh,
Ugly movie.
said where, Thano?
Oh no.
Said where, Thano?
But Glass Onion was set in Greece.
Doesn't matter.
Greece.
Doesn't matter.
Greece.
Doesn't matter.
But
It's set in
Glass Onion
Greece.
and parts of Morbius was. And there's a tree in here. This is Greece's year. The tree is in Greece. Kyriakos Mitsotakis, the Prime Minister of Greece, spoke at the Congress this year. Man of God is set in Greece. Like, okay, I didn't know this was our year, but this is
Is this what you want to
2022.
celebrate?
20, man, the economy is back, baby. All right.
Greece is back, baby. No.
Yeah, but the ugly movie,
It's
stupid
so
movie. But the fact that I think I could have just done something else with my time that night. And I did this.
we could have gone bowling, something that Thano notoriously hates, and it
Yeah,
probably would have
bowling
been a better
sucks.
time.
Yeah, so fuck this movie. Fuck Viggo Mortensen for being in this movie. That's all I'll say.
And
It's my worst. It's my worst of the year.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
what is your next movie on this list after Morbius?
After Morbius is okay. This won't scandalize you. Will scandalize other people.
Hmm.
Barbarian.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
We got some hot takes here. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
fight you on it. I would say that I enjoyed Barbarian enough to the point where it's not on my top, in my bottom, but it's also not near my top at all.
I put it not for being bad, for being disappointing.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
I can see that. Okay,
Yeah. My opinions of Barbarian, I would say now, today, are overwhelmingly negative.
okay.
Um, and yeah, that's all I'll say. People love this movie.
So here's my hot take on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
People who love this movie in general, right?
Right.
There are some like heavy horror loving people who love this movie.
Yeah.
But I think that if you are not a horror movie watcher,
Yeah.
this movie is like very, very good.
Mm.
But I think as like, for, at least for me, as
Mhm.
someone who watches so much fucking movies, like so
Mhm.
many horror movies, this movie is like not treading any new water for me.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I find it disappointing. But then
Yeah.
I also go, well, that's a me problem.
Right.
That's not the movie problem. My problem with the movie is that it's just not as good as like people kind of make it out to be.
Yeah. And actually, I'm going to be. So another honorable mention came to mind that really should probably be on this list. But I think I'm just going to use my bottom five to be a bitch to the world and you
Oh, and me.
for my next
What
one.
did I do?
You did nothing. but it's more fun this way. It's
Okay.
more fun this way.
Okay.
Um,
You gonna go with it right now? Or you want me to do my three?
do your three. Do your
So
three.
my three is a
Yeah.
movie that I didn't even finish.
Ah.
Blonde.
Oh, I didn't finish it either. Oh,
It's a movie
I didn't.
so
Boring.
boring.
Boring. And ugly.
Imagine the movie where you were plastered with Anna de Armas's boobs
Yeah.
for such a vast amount of time,
Yeah.
and you're bored. God
Ugly.
damn,
That's the theme in a lot of my least favorites this year. They're just like ugly
ugly.
films. And
Yeah,
that is an ugly film.
that is a very ugly
Of
film.
a story I was already not interested in.
Uh-huh.
I was literally only interested in for Ana de Armas nudity.
Yep.
That
And
is,
even that's not enough.
yeah, yeah. I didn't get through enough
I got through
for
about 45
you.
minutes,
Got through more than me, I
and I
think.
was like, dude.
Yeah,
You know what happened? I was laying in bed.
right.
This was like while Katie was out of town, so like I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I had all the time in the world. I want to say it was like a Friday night,
Mhm.
and suddenly like my Netflix started buffering, and I
Yeah,
was like, yeah, that's my
that's
cue
my
to call
cue.
it.
Yeah. Ironically, I think this film, right? So Prey would have definitely benefited from being in theaters.
Yes,
Glass Onion would have definitely benefited from being in theaters longer.
longer.
This would have benefited from being in theaters in the sense that I and other people then would have actually watched the whole thing.
Mm.
Because like I have never like walked out of a movie out of anger.
I've gotten so
I
close.
walked out of a movie out of I had to leave for other reasons,
Okay.
but never out of like I'll stick and I'll
Hmm.
finish the movie, right? I'm sure people would have walked out of this movie out of disgust,
Probably.
but I would have at least finished it if I was in the theater.
Yeah, I would have been bored and I would have been unhappy,
Yeah,
but I don't think I would have walked out.
yeah,
It's so boring.
yeah.
It's maybe I'll give it another, and I feel bad because like I feel like that's a bold faced lie.
No, you're not.
I feel like
It's
I should
hard.
give it a
If
chance.
you're not going to watch Avatar again and you're willing to give that a chance,
That's a
no one,
very good
no
point.
one has said anything good about this movie. There's no reason to give it a chance.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. The scenes
Yeah,
in question were already leaked to Reddit. There's no, there's no reason.
there's no reason.
Yeah.
All right, what is your number four?
Okay. So here's the thing. This one was in my brainstormed list.
Okay,
Realized I had a list of six. Um, it does not deserve to be on this list of like the second worst movie of the year for me.
is this gonna scan? Is this the one you're saying is gonna
This is going
scandalize
to be a
me?
bitch to you
Okay,
specifically. You'll be surprised. X.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
An ugly movie.
A very ugly movie.
I was actually excited for X,
Okay.
which I had to double take before doing my list because I was like, was this 2022? Because the
Yeah.
sequel came out, but it was 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not think it was interesting. I did not think it was smart. I think there were parts where I enjoyed it, but I feel like I've seen better versions of this movie elsewhere. It was just like a gruesome world that I don't care to revisit.
Interesting.
Yeah,
See, I do agree. It is an ugly movie,
yeah.
but it is a purposely ugly movie for
It
that
is.
reason.
Yeah, it is.
It it is also very much in the wheelhouse of the director
Yeah,
for the style that it's going for. I don't think I would put it in my even top 10 or 15 of the year. I did enjoy it.
right.
I have borderline no interest in going back to rewatch it.
Yeah.
But I will say I think I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Pearl.
Yeah,
Maybe
you didn't like Pearl.
I didn't love it.
You walked out of Pearl disappointed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did walk out of Pearl a little
yeah,
disappointed, but that's also because that was also kind of my fault.
yeah.
I was overhyping it a lot in my head.
I think this movie thinks it's more interesting than it is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah,
Um, here comes my next one.
yeah.
Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, did not make it through. Did
Yeah,
not make it through.
it is an insane movie
Yeah.
to the point where the least distracting thing was the fact that Grindelwald was played by a different actor.
who probably should have been more. He's closer to Colin Farrell than he is to
He should have just gone back. They
Johnny
should have just
Depp.
gone back to Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
I get why they didn't, I
yeah,
guess. It was jarring.
right.
But like the whole movie just makes no sense.
No,
Like you're
J.K. Rowling does herself no favors.
no,
Yeah,
absolutely no. We were just having a discussion about J.K.
we
Rowling,
we were
uh, about whether or not
the game, right?
the game should
Yep.
be something that we're excited about. I'm still excited about the game, but that's
Yeah,
because as far as her involvement goes,
yeah.
it's very minimal. Yes, she's gonna profit for sure.
Right.
You know, that's just that them's the breaks. When you come up with a relatively interesting franchise,
Yeah.
that's you, baby.
Yeah.
Uh, but this movie on its own effectively was so bad that it killed the Fantastic Beasts
Yeah.
franchise,
Yeah.
and that's impressive.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
I
What the
think.
fuck are the secrets? What secrets? Is it that he's gay? I don't think it's a secret.
No. No.
It just doesn't make sense.
That the first movie was bad. There's some people who
I
are like,
enjoyed
yeah,
the first one.
I didn't like it. I don't think it was offensive.
No,
The second movie was offensive. And then I tried to watch this on HBO Max. If you'll allow, I think we should. I think after we do our like top threes after, I think after we do this, like when we're done with all the ranking, I think we should briefly just talk about takeaways from like our
sure,
list because I have some.
sure.
Um, but but yeah, this movie like I heard it was like slightly better. I think I heard maybe it was the best one. I don't remember. But I tried to watch. I'm like I have no interest. I have no interest.
It just makes no sense. Like you have this weird like Nazi like regime like commentary, but then you have weird like Chinese creature appropriation,
Yeah.
and then you have like the weird creatures coming in from what's the guy's name? Newt
Newt Scamander.
Scamander.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. Like there is zero reason for him to be back. The guy who came back in the last movie, who again should not have come back, Dan Fogel, who plays like the
Muggle.
Muggle,
Yeah.
like he shouldn't have come back. There's no reason for him to be back, and now he's stuck around. He's the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
It just I don't.
For all of the flack that the Star Wars sequel trilogy gets
Mm,
and deserves, its biggest critique is the fact that it's like totally disjointed. And like so are these. Like there is no narrative cohesion in these movies
no,
whatsoever.
no,
They are bad.
they are very
They
bad.
are bad.
And we
Yeah.
we've had this discussion before. In a world as
In a world.
in a world as fantastical as a magical world,
Yeah.
this is what you choose to do?
Yeah.
Like
Stupid.
fucking dumb.
Stupid.
You could do so many other things.
So many things.
Use the same plot points if you want,
Yeah.
but it doesn't need to be tied in
No.
to the Harry Potter like connection.
Yeah, that was a good one. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And that was about a year-ish ago, right? Because
It was like March.
oh, that recent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think one.
It fucking started in theaters, dude.
Yeah. So okay. So Scream was initially on my list. I'm not gonna add anything else. I'm fine with my list being as it is.
Okay.
Um, Scream was initially on my list. One that I forgot about. The fucking Olivia Wilde movie.
Don't worry, darling.
Yeah. That's my dishonorable mention.
Okay.
That's my dishonorable mention, the fact that it also sucked. I won't say anything else because we made an episode. My dishonorable
Did
mention.
we?
Yeah, we.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My other dishonorable mention in a movie that did objectively suck. Well, was so bad that it was good, but I cannot put it on this list.
It's Halloween.
Halloween Ends.
Halloween Ends.
So good.
It's so good.
Good, bad, good.
It's so bad.
Yes.
Yes.
But I can't put it on the list.
I have it on my list. I have it for the purpose of like
Yeah.
just options,
Yeah. Yeah, it's an option.
but it's not.
But I think of it fondly. I don't think of anything on this list fondly. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will watch it again. I won't watch anything on this list. Maybe Thor if I do a Marvel marathon.
Oh, I mean, I'll
Yeah,
watch Thor again.
yeah,
I'll watch Barbarian maybe, and I'm gonna watch X because
yeah,
the new one's coming out.
yeah.
So,
I won't.
but that's just. uh, yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, the only other one that I have is a movie called Interceptor,
Mm.
which is a Netflix movie
Mm.
with Thor's wife.
Okay.
I forgot her fucking name.
Yeah.
Something Pataki, I think.
Yeah. Mm.
It's just such a forgettable fucking movie that I'm just like, goddamn.
Yeah.
So we don't have a bottom 10, which is fine.
Hmm.
In a way, that's kind of impressive.
It was a good year.
So we have Thor, Morbius,
Yeah.
Barbarian, X, has Scream.
Yeah.
Crimes of the Future was on both of our
Yeah.
lists. Blonde, Fantastic Beasts, and Interceptor.
So is it time for takeaways, or do we have to do more ranking yet?
Let's do our takeaways. I feel like we don't have to rank these movies.
So I'll say um, where the advent of streaming is maybe potentially a positive thing. Why it was harder for me to pick like a bad list
Mm,
is that A, there was just so much in theaters that like in our time is like we don't do this full time, right? So our time is limited, right? Like I pretty much have time for like one movie a week, right?
mm-hmm.
Like we're seeing the shit that
That we want to
we
see.
want to see,
Yeah,
right?
we're picky about where we're putting
Yes.
our time.
A. And then B, if there's something like bad, right? Because it's just so accessible through streaming, I just like stop watching it. It's
I
different. It's different than the blockbuster days where
okay.
I paid 350,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, and it's not even to stop watching. Well, it is kind of a choice, but it's also the fact that watching it at home it's harder to pay attention. But like, if I'm bored of shit from like Secrets of Dumbledore, right?
Yeah.
I will not sit through Secrets of Dumbledore, right? I tried to watch the third Hobbit movie because of how I had seen the first two was so blawed by them. I never went to the theaters to see the third one.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to watch it, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And
Yeah.
I stopped. So I think that's a takeaway from my list. And maybe that has something to do with the fact that it was hard for me to come up with a bottom five.
I no, I agree. I feel like especially now with it's gotten so far enough to where
Yeah.
like if you have a reviewer that you follow, it's because you have similar tastes.
Yeah.
So if they're telling you like, "Hey, man, don't go see this fucking movie,"
Right.
you're probably not gonna go see this fucking movie.
Right.
Like if Dan and Jeremy and Chris from 3C Film like
Hmm.
they're like, "Hey, go fucking see Babylon right now. It's great."
You're gonna see
I'd be
that.
like, "All right, I'll go see fucking
Yeah.
Babylon." But the fact that ain't like you said, nobody's telling you to go see it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste my fucking time.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
movie, 3 hours.
you know what I'm actually kind of impressed by?
Hmm.
There's a lot of movies that we do not have on this list.
Yeah.
No mention of the Batman
No.
whatsoever.
No.
No mention of everything everywhere all at
That's going to
once.
be on a lot of top fives. No
The
mentions.
Northman.
No mention of the Northman. No mention of Smile. I mean, not that. No mentions of Banshees.
If I'm being honest, I kind of like Banshees.
I like Banshees.
I would have honestly probably put it on my least favorite, not because it's bad,
Hmm.
but because I have like no interest in rewatching it.
Interesting.
It's just like a very like meh
Yeah.
movie. But I mean, that's why I didn't put it. Um, Other than that, like I said, I don't think I can think of anything else that I think would belong here. Um, I know we joked long and hard about.
Vaporeon.
God damn it. We joked long and hard about Halloween Ends,
Yeah.
but I did really enjoy that movie.
I
It had fun.
think of the experience fondly.
And that's also why I didn't put Morbius on my list.
Yeah.
Because like I walked in there going, this is gonna be a fucking disaster and
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun to
Yeah.
watch. The problem with like all of these other movies is they're not fun to watch.
I put Morbius on the list to punish the. I want to punish the nerd bros.
The Dude Bros.
Yeah, I think they're getting a little too big for their britches for Morbius.
Wait,
It's
who
been
is who is honestly like liking Morbius?
that community has prequel memed it. They have like
You think so?
yeah, amongst themselves. I
Interesting.
think it's actually good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, there were also a lot of movies that I watched this year that were not from this year
Yeah.
that I genuinely loved though.
The I think so I think that's one of my other takeaways. I'd like to in the future do like different types of top lists.
For sure.
Yeah, like top movies I watched this year that weren't from this year. Or like yeah,
I can easily come up with a top five movie list
yeah,
of movies that I watched this year
right.
that I did not see when they came out.
Yeah.
Like just I'm looking at my letterbox. Like fucking The Empty Man was fan fucking tastic.
Mm,
And also one of the things I would say, one of the only movies that I didn't or one thing that I did not put in my top five that I would if it wasn't because it wasn't a full length movie was Werewolf by Night.
mm, yeah,
Like that would have knocked out Scream for me. But
but not full length.
but not
Yeah.
full length.
Looking at your top five, are there like do you feel like it skews to a specific genre? Are there other genres that you like? In next year's top five, you'd like to come in more. You know what I'm saying?
Um I mean I would like to say yes, but at the same time I'm gonna be very honest with you. My list is always gonna lean more action horror
Yeah,
than like drama. Like I know like the movies that are like contenders for like best for like a lot of people are always going to be more like the Oscar movies sometimes.
right.
But like I respect those movies and I appreciate why they are
What they are.
what they are.
Hmm.
I don't find those movies fun.
So I similar-ish comment to you in a couple respects. I'm looking at mine. It's mostly like violence and like white dudes.
I'm surprised by how like horror-ish leaning your list is.
Yeah,
Prey, Doctor Strange, The Menu, and Black Phone are all genre movies.
yeah,
Glass Onion, and then Man of God.
right.
Odd man out for
Yeah,
sure.
well, but that was an honorable mention that came in there to round out the
Sure.
list.
You know what? I will make one change,
Hmm.
and you're gonna be pleased about this change.
Hmm.
I'm going to sub in Scream 5
Ayo.
with bodies.
Ooh. Didn't get to see it. Wanted to.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It now that I'm looking back, I'm like, this movie is genuinely one of the funniest movies I've seen.
Do I have to buy it or is it on streaming? I forget.
I think you can rent it.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
So I
but
have to pay for it in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, now that
Yeah.
it's out on digital,
Right. No, that's
you
fine.
can find it on.
Yeah, I have no qualms about paying for stuff on digital. Um,
It's
I
so good.
I next year, and this is why I think I'm really excited to see the whale. I'm eager to watch a high drama Oscar Beatty movie
Hmm.
and love it. Like I want like there's many of them that like Babylon is textbook like not as good as it thinks it is,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But I want to see a more drama based movie and just walk away like
I
feeling
feel
moved and
I feel like I haven't seen a movie like that, and I know it's not really that long ago,
yeah.
but like 1917, I feel like is that movie for me.
Yeah, I don't want to, but that one I also put into action. I don't want to see.
You put it in action,
I mean, it's a war
it's got
movie.
some action,
Yeah, yeah,
but I think it's like it's got the weightness to it,
it does.
uh,
Yeah,
cinematography.
yeah.
It is more drama than like
So it's objectively violent. It
yeah,
is violent. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I can't. Are there any movies that came out this year that you're like, I should have seen that,
Other than those that I
other
mentioned,
than The Whale?
right? Not yet.
Not yet.
Not that I can think of.
I this is gonna sound really stupid. The only movie that I'm like, I wish I had seen. Don't get
Hmm.
me wrong, I do want to see Tar and I do want to see The Whale.
Hmm.
But the movie that I'm like, I wish I had had, I would have put the time aside to see it, is the Puss in Boots
Dude, I was
movie.
about actually that. I is it still out? Yeah,
It's
it's gotta be.
out.
Yeah, I need to see Puss in Boots.
I want it. I've heard it's so good.
I've not seen a Puss in Boots movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
The last one was okay. It wasn't
they
bad, but it
they
wasn't
they
good.
kind of started coming out when like Shrek was shit, right? So I was like, why
Yeah,
would I see this? But
yeah.
yeah, but I've heard it's really good.
I've
So
heard it's really good.
I'm
People are saying it's better than like the Shrek movies.
Jesus,
I'm like, oh,
impressive.
impressive.
That is a movie. Whereas you've thought of many that needed to be in theaters, that is a movie that I feel could really benefit from being
In theater or
streaming.
streaming.
Yes.
I mean, kids movies generally do.
Yeah, but like I saw like the first third of Pinocchio Del
The
Toro,
Toro one.
and I really enjoyed it. I didn't get to finish it yet because I had to leave, right? But I was like, oh, very nice that this is in Netflix because like I just don't know that we would have like carved out a precious Friday night
Mm-hmm.
to go see Pinocchio, right? I feel like Puss in Boots, even though it's got the brand, like could have benefited in that way. But it's making money, so
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I don't know. We'll
can't say
see.
shit. Yeah.
We'll see.
Sure.
All right, everybody. Well, so just to round out our lists, let's go over them really quick before we head out.
Yeah.
In our top 10 collectively,
Mm-hmm.
we have Prey, Doctor Strange, The Menu, The Black Phone,
Mm-hmm.
Glass Onion, Man of God, the quintessential quintuplets, Top Gun Maverick, Terrifier 2, Glass Onion again,
Mm-hmm.
and Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So that's our 10 movies put together. And then the bottom of the barrel, we have Thor, Love and Thunder, Morbius, Barbarian, X, Scream,
Yeah.
um, Crimes of the Future, Blonde, Fantastic Beasts, and Interceptor.
You forgot some, and there's also Crimes of the Future, Crimes of the Future, Crimes
Crimes
of
of
the
the Future
Future.
and Crimes of the Future.
Sure.
That movie is a fucking crime.
Yeah. That movie, what's the opposite of Head and Shoulders Above? Because for me, that movie is
Dead ass awful.
it is Head and Shoulders below everything else on Netflix.
It's so bad.
So bad.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
If you like it.
Nah, dude. No, fuck you if you like it.
Yeah.
Fuck you if you like that movie. I cannot think of a worst movie that has come out in the last like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. At least Suspiria was colorful.
At least Suspiria had boobs. Well, I mean, so did this.
Oh no.
But here's the thing. I know we're going on a tangent again. But like, all right, Suspiria at least got you in going, this is gonna be weird.
Yeah.
This is gonna be like violent. And at least the ending of that movie was
Crazy.
weird, insane, and violent.
Yeah.
This movie, as soon as it started to get a smidge interesting, it was like, all right, wrap it up.
This movie is like, what if Suspiria were drab? Did
It really is. Oh man.
I even say this in this episode already? I think my takeaway from looking at my bottom is I just don't like ugly movies.
You were saying that that's what you were seeing was like a connecting through
Yeah,
line.
yeah.
It yeah.
I get more
Is it?
when I get mad at like narrative, I get mad more so at TV shows. TV shows cut me and hurt me more
Well,
than movies
because
do.
because the TV show is like investment,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
You
Yeah.
can watch a TV show and it's
Yeah.
19 fantastic episodes.
Yeah.
And then episode like 20, 21, and 22 can shit the bed and you're
Right.
like, God damn it.
Right.
Whereas like a movie, it's fucking
Movie. Yeah.
again, either way, even with these awful like, you know, film time that is Crimes of the Future. Like even if we exclude our bottom movies, like
Hmm.
there's still so much to watch.
So much to
How
watch.
the fuck is anyone bored in 2022?
I am so excited for Cocaine Bear. I am so
Are
excited.
you? I'm not, but
I am so excited for.
right. Okay, fine. Really quick before we wrap up, let's take about a 2 or 3 minutes. What are the movies that you're excited to see next year?
So ironically, I haven't gone through the actual like hype list. Right?
Are there any movies that like stand out to you?
So right now, from like the last time I was in theaters and saw trailers, I'm eager to see Cocaine Bear for the lulls. I'm eager to see that M. Night Shyamalan movie for like the
For the
lulls.
potential disaster?
Yes, I'm eager to see that fucking Killer Doll movie.
Oh, I am so excited for Megan,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm very excited for Megan.
I am. You have no. That's next week.
Is it really?
That's on Thursday.
So ready.
Are we doing it?
It's gonna be a great shit movie season
I'm so
in
excited.
January and February.
That's the thing. I know you didn't like. I know you didn't like *Malignant*,
No, but this looks hilarious.
but
Yeah,
if it's anything like *Malignant* to
yeah.
me, I'm gonna be so excited.
I'm excited. You're not excited for Oppenheimer. I'm excited for Oppenheimer.
I'm excited to start. I'm my problem with *Oppenheimer* is like it's just so sad.
Yeah, yeah. I'm less into Nolan than I used to be, right? But I'm ready for another one.
I never saw fucking *Tenet*, dude.
I didn't see Tenet either. Did not see Tenet. Did not care for Interstellar. I
Mm-mm.
liked the World War II one. Um,
Which one?
Dunkirk.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, I liked Dunkirk.
Huh.
But I need to look at a proper list of next year's films, and I won't even mention anything MCU related right now because like that's just its own
Yeah,
category of hype.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's not a lot that I'm like super. I mean, Megan, of course, but that's
yeah.
coming out so soon. There's a Barbie movie.
Oh yeah.
That one could be good.
D&D.
The D&D movie, I'm very excited about,
Uh,
and also the new Spider-Man
yeah. Across the Spider-Verse.
across the
Yeah.
Spider-Verse.
Look
I
beautiful.
know that you're gonna hate me for this,
Mm.
but you know we're gonna have to watch the Mission Impossible movies, right?
We'll watch the Mission Impossible
I
movies. Yeah.
am so excited.
We'll watch the Mission Impossible movies.
That's the one that I'm like super
Ooh,
stoked
John
for.
Wick 4.
John Wick 4.
Yeah.
Jesus, there's so many.
Yeah.
Very good.
We're
On
eating
that fantastic note,
we're eating well.
we're eating well.
Yeah.
2022 was great. Let's see what 2023 has.
Amen. The year for Greece.
The year for
The
Greece.
year for Greece.
Let's see what 2023 brings.
Yeah.
Not Mexico, that's for sure.
So sad.
So sad.
So
All right,
sad.
everybody. Until next year
Until next year. And next month. No one ever says next month.
and next
And
month,
next month. Yeah.
this has been the Cine-Scoots podcast.
Yeah.
He is Stano.
He's Javier.
Bye.
Bye.